Beneath the scorching sun of Etosha National Park in Namibia, where endless grasslands blend with parched thorn bushes in a wild, captivating tapestry, Luna, a gentle elephant, the serene soul of this rugged land, carries a secret that leaves nature itself holding its breath. Something extraordinary, so rare it flickers only in the ancient whispers of African elephant lore, is quietly growing within her. Is it a miraculous gift from the wild or a brutal challenge pushing Luna to the edge of life and death? Step into the story to uncover the mystery waiting to unfold. It all began on an early morning when the first rays of sunlight pierced through a thin veil of mist, casting a soft golden glow over Etosha's arid expanse. Elliot, a seasoned ranger with silver-streaked hair and sharp eyes honed by over 2 decades of experience, maneuvered his weathered patrol truck along the winding dirt trails. Beside him sat Sophie, his young colleague, with her hair tied high, eyes sparkling with curiosity, and a trusty notebook always within reach. They'd been partners for 3 years, their blend of Elliot's calm wisdom and Sophie's fiery enthusiasm making them a vital part of the Etosha Ranger team. Elliot was no stranger to this land. Born in a small village near Namibia's border, he grew up on tales of elephants told by his grandfather, a hunter-turned-conservationist who traded his bow for a mission to protect the wild. Those stories had drawn Elliot to Etosha over 20 years ago, igniting a lifelong passion for the majestic creatures. Sophie, on the other hand, was a newer face. Hailing from the bustling city of Windhoek, she'd graduated with a degree in wildlife biology and chosen Etosha as the place to chase her dream of preserving nature. Despite their differences in age and background, they shared a deep love for this untamed corner of the world. That morning, as the truck rumbled past a dry lakebed surrounded by grasslands, Elliot slammed on the brakes, nearly sending Sophie's notebook flying. "Look over there, Sophie," he said, his low voice tinged with excitement, pointing toward a massive figure beneath an acacia tree. Sophie squinted, then gasped, "It's Luna! But what's up with her belly?" Luna, the elephant beloved by the entire ranger team, stood quietly, her ears flapping gently in the hot breeze. What stopped them in their tracks was her unusually round belly, larger and heavier than anything they'd seen on a pregnant elephant in all their years at Etosha. Elliot frowned, tapping the steering wheel thoughtfully. "I've watched dozens of elephant pregnancies, but I've never seen anything like this," he muttered. Sophie nodded, flipping open her notebook and scribbling with quick, messy strokes. March 15th spotted Luna with an abnormally large belly, possibly a unique pregnancy. From that moment, Luna was no longer just another elephant in the herd. She became the heart of a mystery that Elliot, Sophie, and the rest of the ranger team were determined to unravel. That very afternoon, back at the main ranger station, a modest wooden shack nestled in the grasslands, its tin roof faded from years of sun, Elliot called an urgent meeting. The team gathered around a battered wooden table littered with maps, cold coffee mugs, and a few old walkie-talkies. "Luna's pregnant, but something's off," Elliot began, his voice steady yet commanding. "We need to keep a close eye on her. If anything goes wrong, I don't want any of us regretting that we didn't do enough." Sophie raised her hand, her eyes lighting up. "I suggest we attach a GPS tracker to Luna. That way we'll know where she is at all times, especially if she wanders off from the herd during this dry season." The idea was met with immediate approval, and Elliot gave a satisfied nod. The next day, under his careful guidance, the team approached Luna as she rested near a waterhole, one of the few remaining puddles in the harsh dry season. With utmost caution, Elliot secured a small GPS device to the thick skin behind her ear. Luna, ever gentle and familiar with humans, merely flicked her ears and went back to munching on dry grass, unbothered by the fuss. Over the following weeks, Luna's GPS signal became the team's guiding star. Elliot and Sophie checked her location daily on the station's flickering computer screen, an outdated machine prone to glitching. They noticed Luna moving slower than usual, often pausing to rest under acacia trees or near dwindling water sources. Sometimes, through binoculars, they caught her letting out soft groans as if burdened by an unseen weight. One morning, as they watched from a distance, Sophie said with concern, "She looks more tired than I expected. Do you think she's sick?" Elliot shook his head, his gaze a mix of curiosity and worry. "No, I don't think it's sickness. Something bigger is happening." To keep Luna safe, the team set up a temporary observation post near her usual haunt, a wide stretch of grassland framed by two low hills, dotted with ancient baobab trees. The post was a simple setup of wooden planks and a tarp roof equipped with binoculars, a camera, a walkie-talkie, and an emergency medical kit Elliot always kept close, a habit from his early ranger days. The team split into day and night shifts, taking turns monitoring Luna's every move. Sophie, ever eager, often volunteered for the night watch, sitting in the dark with a small flashlight, listening to the wind rustling the grass, the distant calls of antelope, and Luna's faint, far-off groans. As time passed, Luna's belly grew so large she looked like a giant silhouette against the grasslands. Elliot, who'd been tied to Etosha since his youth, couldn't hide his growing unease. He remembered the first time he saw Luna, a tiny, clumsy calf trailing her mother, her little ears flapping like fans. Now, fully grown, she was a cornerstone of the park's largest elephant herd, her gentle nature endearing her to everyone. But this pregnancy seemed to test her endurance like never before. One late afternoon, as the sun painted the horizon red, Elliot and Sophie stood at the observation post watching Luna rest beneath a towering baobab. Her groans echoed, longer and heavier than usual. Sophie turned to Elliot, worried. "Did you hear that? Is she in pain?" Elliot didn't answer right away. He grabbed the binoculars, studying every detail. Luna's half-closed eyes, her labored breathing, and her massive belly trembling with each breath. "Get the truck ready," he said into the walkie-talkie, his tone urgent. "I think it's time." When they arrived, Luna was still lying on her side in the dry grass, her ears twitching faintly. Elliot stepped out of the truck, carrying the medical kit he'd prepped weeks earlier. He approached slowly, speaking softly, "Luna, don't be scared. I'm here for you." Miraculously, Luna seemed to recognize his voice, a voice that had been with her through countless dry and rainy seasons. She lifted her trunk briefly, as if greeting him, then let it fall with exhaustion. Sophie stood back, clutching the walkie-talkie, ready to call for backup if needed. "Do you think she's about to give birth?" she asked, her voice trembling with anticipation. Elliot nodded, but his eyes betrayed uncertainty. "Maybe, but I'm not sure this is just a normal birth." Night fell, and a silver moon bathed Etosha's grasslands in an ethereal glow. After a crackling walkie-talkie consultation with a vet from the main station, someone who'd helped Elliot with a tough elephant birth years ago, he decided to give Luna a dose of labor-inducing medication. "If she can't deliver naturally, we have to step in," he explained to Sophie, carefully preparing the syringe. The shot went into a vein on Luna's ear, and within minutes, her groans grew louder, her body shaking with intense contractions. Elliot and Sophie stepped back, waiting in tense silence. The wind whispered through the grass, mingling with Luna's heavy breaths, creating an electric atmosphere. About 20 minutes later, a small shape emerged from her body. A calf, wet and fragile, tumbled onto the dry grass, stirring to life. Sophie cheered, "Elliot, look. It's alive." Elliot smiled, grabbing a towel from his kit to wipe off the calf's membrane and nudging it closer to its mother. But their joy was cut short. Luna kept groaning, her eyes clouded with pain. Elliot pressed his hand to her belly again, and his heart raced as he felt more contractions. "No way," he whispered, his voice shaking. "There's another one." Sophie's eyes widened, nearly shouting, "Twins? African elephants don't have twins." But Elliot had no time to debate. He focused on Luna, soothing her, "Hang in there, girl. You've got this." Luna panted, her tail thrashing the ground as she mustered her last reserves of strength. Sophie stood by, her trembling hands aiming the flashlight, torn between fear and excitement. 15 minutes later, a second calf emerged. The sight left them speechless. Two calves, a true miracle in the heart of Etosha. Both were alive, wriggling and making faint first sounds. Elliot knelt beside Luna, tears streaming down his face. "You did it, Luna. You're incredible." As dawn broke, the first sunlight bathed the little elephant family in gold. Exhausted, Luna still managed to touch her calves with her trunk, welcoming and protecting them. Elliot and Sophie checked the newborn's health. They were smaller than a typical single-born calf, but healthy and normal. Sophie beamed. "We just witnessed the impossible, Elliot. Should we report this to the international office?" Elliot nodded, but his eyes stayed on Luna. "Later. Let her rest first." In the distance, a large bull elephant approached Luna's mate, a powerful figure with long, curved tusks often seen with the herd. He stood watchfully, then raised his trunk as if thanking the humans who'd helped his family. Elliot smiled, stepping back to give them space. Sophie grabbed the camera from the truck, snapping the moment, Luna with her calves, the bull guarding them under the radiant sunrise. Word of the twin birth spread through Etosha like wildfire. Rangers from other posts arrived with cameras, hugs, and endless questions. "This is a first in the park's history," one colleague exclaimed, clutching a cold coffee from the night before. Elliot, weary from a sleepless night, couldn't hide his pride. He sat in the truck, watching Luna rise, her calves stumbling after her. Sophie plopped beside him, buzzing. "Should we name the little ones?" Elliot chuckled. "Let Luna and nature decide. Our job is to keep them safe." In the days that followed, Luna and her calves became symbols of hope at Etosha. The team kept watch from afar, guarding the family against the wild's dangers, lurking lion prides and sudden dust storms. Elliot visited often, binoculars and notebook in hand, tracking the calves' growth. He nicknamed them for now Sunny for the bigger, livelier one, always flapping its ears like it was soaking up the sun, and Shadow for the smaller, quieter one, sticking close to Luna like her shadow. With a mother's strength and love, Luna regained her vigor. She guided her calves back to the herd, where other elephants gathered, welcoming the newcomers with gentle trunk touches. Elliot and Sophie watched from a low hill, seeing the family blend into the larger group. "Did you ever think we'd see this?" Sophie asked, her voice thick with emotion, clutching her now full notebook. Elliot shook his head, gazing at the horizon. "No, but I've learned nature always finds a way to surprise us. I'm proud we were here for it." Under Etosha's vast blue sky, Luna and her calves marched on, starting a new chapter of hope. Elliot and Sophie returned to the station, carrying pride and a profound lesson. Even in the wild's harshness, miracles can bloom, and humans, with dedication and love, can help nurture them. Luna's story wasn't just a memory. It was a reminder that nature holds wondrous secrets, waiting for patient hearts to discover. The next day, as sunlight spilled over the grasslands again, Elliot sat alone at the observation post, sipping hot coffee, watching the distant herd. He smiled, reflecting on his long journey at Etosha, from a young dreamer to a veteran ranger witnessing a miracle. Sophie joined him, camera in hand and grinning. "I sent the report to headquarters," she said. "They think this might be the first recorded twin birth in Namibia in 50 years. Elliot nodded, taking a sip. "Good. But for me, the real win is that Luna and her little ones are safe. And somewhere out there in the sprawling grasslands, Luna kept leading Sunny and Shadow, stepping confidently under the blazing sun, a living testament to resilience and love. Their story would forever be etched into Etosha's legacy, proof that in the wild, the impossible can still come true."